What's up, everybody? We're back with week 9 in our NFL bets this week. Posting this video a little bit later in the week, and that's because we wanted to wait to hear about some key personnel issues. A lot of quarterback questions going on this week that are affecting a lot of bets. So it's a good thing we waited because that's going to have a lot of impact on these games. If you'd like this video and enjoy our content, make sure you like and subscribe so you can keep getting this stuff each week in and out. And let us know in the comment section what you think, what bets you're taking, if you're tailing our bets or fading them too. But with that, let's get into the start of our card for week 9.
First, as always, we have our partnership with Prize Picks. On the left, you can see there they'll match your first deposit of up to $100 using our promo code PROPICKS. That's all caps. This is a really great app to use if you're in a betting illegal state because it's technically a daily fantasy app. So that states like Texas, Florida, California, Carolina. Which is a really great app and specifically even for college sports. So we'll get into that more on those videos, but Ian will tell you a little bit how it works.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been watching our videos at all, you know I've been harping on this. I love the flex play. It's basically a given promo each day in and out. How many times you made a parlay and just all legs hit but one? This gives you the option to make a flex play, take a slightly less payout if all like 3, 4 of your legs hit, but if one misses, you'll still get paid back too. So I really like that. Or you can use the power play, which is just the traditional like 2, 3, 4, 5 leg parlay paying out at some good odds too. So remember to use the code PROPICKS when you sign up, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. And we'll be posting some videos soon, walking through like our thought process with Prize Picks and some good bets that we've been doing and some good strategies to make us more profitable. So we'll get to that later. But we'll talk about the bets first. And the first one we're talking about today are the Texans at Miami and Dolphins. We really like the Texans plus 5.5. The reason being, one big news lately is that Tyrod Taylor is going to be starting at quarterback instead of Davis Mills. I think it's a huge upgrade. We were looking for that injury report all week. We finally got it. Made us pull the trigger on the Texans. I'll talk about a little bit more about it, but what do you think about this game, Kyle?
Yeah, I think I really like the Texans at plus 5.5. You'll see the other team we're going to be teasing this with actually, but we really like to tease the Texans here up to 10.5. We don't think they'll lose by more than a touchdown and a field goal in this one. Just a couple reasons on our thought process here is Tua has not played well at all. He's also banged up, limited practice throughout the week. Also, just thinking or looking a little bit more into the stats, going into this year, I thought the Dolphins were going to have a very dominant defense. Last year, they led the league with 29 takeaways, and their takeaways are down this year, and it's just really exposing their defensive end. They were a little bit more bend, no, don't break last year, but now that they're not getting those takeaways, they're giving up a lot more points, and they're actually last in the league in yards allowed per game. So getting Tyrod Taylor back. Davis Mills is a little bit worse, obviously, than Tua, but getting Tyrod Taylor back when the way Tua is playing, I give the plus or the advantage to the Texans there as well.
Yeah, these are two bad football teams, frankly. They both have one win. They both came week 1. Both these teams haven't won in a long time. You can make the argument that both these teams should be winless, especially with the Dolphins when they played the Patriots week 1. They won the game by 2 points. And the Patriots had 2 red zone turnovers, so that should have been a win. But that's, again, a situation the Dolphins rely on the turnovers on defense to win football games, and that's just something that's not sustainable. 2 bad football teams. Give me the underdog that's favored, even though they're on the road. I like the dynamic capabilities that Tyrod Taylor has in that offense, and you can see why if you look at their week 1 win against the Jaguars. He has just an added element to that offense that I think will give the Dolphins defense fits trying to stop them. So like this game, the other one we really like, especially when teased with it, the Bears plus 6. But the reason I like this one so much is that I just think it's going to be a close game. So I don't think either offense is really going to put up that many points, especially when you tease this to plus 10, plus 10.5. I don't think the Bears are going to lose by that much. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I don't think they're going to get blown out either. I think their defense keeps them into it. The thing I predict most in this game is that both defensive front sevens are going to dominate and get to the quarterback, force quick throws and a lot of sacks, forcing some long fields and long down and distances. And so I just don't think either offense is that great. I think both defenses are pretty solid, especially the Steelers. And I think that just a couple big plays for the Bears offense to put up 7, 10 points this game for the Bears. the Steelers aren't going to score more than 20. That's not happening. So I really like the Bears here teased to cover, and even +6 is a pretty good line too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have the exact same thought process here. We're doing a combined card. But yeah, basically, if the Bears score 2 touchdowns in this game, I don't think the Steelers are going to score more than 24. So if the Bears score 2 touchdowns, I think they cover. Going to be a really low scoring game. And I think this line may move a little bit more down towards the even end with Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson, both not practicing yesterday, but with the longer week, they play on Monday night. I think they're both going to play, and you could catch a little bit of value here.
Yeah, I haven't found that too much. I think the injuries, Khalil Mack might be the one that's more questionable than Eddie Jackson. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they both play too. Those are two huge components of that Bears defense. Especially if Khalil Mack's playing, he's going to be getting the quarterback early and often. I think you're going to see not really that many deep throws for either team. He's not going to have a lot of time in the pocket. Just going to be a very mundane field position battle type game. I think that favors the underdog in the situation, and that's why we're going with the Bears. Another game that we like, Patriots -3.5. Hopefully, we're fading the Stephon Gilmore revenge game here, but we really like the Patriots. Again, we've been talking about them all year. Mac Jones is looking better and better each week. Again, the Patriots aren't asking him to do too much in that offense, not throwing the deep ball a ton, not relying on his arm to throw the ball 50 times a game. They're going to control the ball with the run game, and they're going to ask him to make, decent sized throws and check downs when needed to pick up the first down. And he's very capable of doing that and looking very comfortable in that offense. And both these defenses are pretty solid, but I like the way the Patriots are playing. Don't like the way Sam Darnold's playing. I think he's good for at least one turnover, even with this guy, Christian McCaffrey, trending towards playing this week. Do you have any injury update on him?
Yeah. So McCaffrey was activated at least. So he's activated to play, but they have not set any designation on his status. So he's very questionable still leaning towards a 50-50, more so game time decision with him. You also have Sam Darnold, who's questionable. So the primary playmakers on the Panthers are both hurt. They really haven't played well since the beginning of the year. And I think the Patriots are trending in the opposite direction. They won their last 2, I believe, back to 500. And they're going to try to make the playoffs here with a weaker division with the Jets and the Dolphins.
They got a shot. They definitely have a shot. I'm rooting for them for some other bets that I have interest in. But I think they really are going to compete for the AFC wild card. And the thing about the Panthers, their strength is their defense, especially in their front seven now with their secondary dinged up. But in the past, like you can watch the Bucs game, Mac Jones was really good against the blitz, really good against pressure, against man-to-man coverage. All of this is the Panthers' specialty. So I think even though people are going to be talking about how good the Panthers' defense has been this year, that's kind of what Mac Jones strives against right now and what he's been able to perform so far this year. So I think he kind of neutralizes that strength for the Panthers too. If Christian McCaffrey's not playing, I have a hard time seeing the Panthers compete this game because Sam Darnold is going to have such a hard time throwing the ball. He's going to be seeing ghosts out there again against Bill Belichick.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson is questionable. That's just something you should know going in this game if you're betting it. I think given the matchup, though, against Sam Darnold, this is probably one of the games where if J.C. Jackson doesn't play, it matters a little bit less than another matchup.
Yeah, I mean, especially recently, Sam Darnold only been looking at DJ Moore, who's a great receiver, but he's kind of leaving his other guys out to dry. He's just really a one-look and check-down guy, really one-dimensional offense. I'm sure Bill Belichick's picking up on that, and he's going to take away the first option he's got in most routes, which is going to be DJ Moore, and then if you take away the check-down, whether that's Hubbard or CMC, that's when Samuel gets in trouble and just chucks the ball down the field to usually the other team.
Yeah.
So if you game plan for that, like I'm sure Belichick's going to do, you're going to see a lot of offensive woes for the Panthers.
Yeah, I have DJ Moore in fantasy, and it seems like all the teams are starting to figure that out because his numbers have not been as great as they were the first 4 weeks.
He started out. He's a great talent too. He started out red hot, but then everyone's like, "Look, if we can stop DJ Moore, we can basically stop this offense." And that's kind of what's been happening of late. Another game. This again huge injury implications for this week, which our picks depend on. But we like the Cardinals money line here. We could get them at +2. It's interesting because before the injuries, the Cardinals were 3-point favorites, but now Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are questionable to play this game. That'll be really intriguing to see if they play and then how healthy they're really going to be if they do. But when at full strength, this Cardinals team is just flat out a much better football team than the Niners. Niners are a team that struggled even against the Bears, who I don't think are all that talented. The Bears, who have such offensive woes as well, put up a good 23 against these guys and looked like they're taking a step forward. But I think it's more just the Niners defense isn't what people are used to seeing there. And then on the offense, with guys like Kittle out and Brandon Ayuk really not playing up to his potential in his second year, this is a very one-dimensional offense. It's going to rely heavily on the run game, and then Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel, I think he is playing, but he's a little banged up too. Missed a little practice this week.
It's all going to come down to if the Cardinals can stop the run game against the Niners. That's what the Niners been doing for the last decade and a half. They're going to control the ball at the run and then ask their mediocre quarterback to make a few plays here and there. If the Cardinals can commit to the run stop on defense, I really like the money line here because I think this is a game where it's gonna, the Rams aren't going to be losing very many games with their schedule. They got a lot of easier opponents, and especially with Derrick Henry out against the Titans, this is a game the Cardinals need to keep winning to stay in that division with both them and the Rams having one loss. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think about this one too?
Yeah, I completely agree. Cardinals coming off their first loss of the season. That was
back to back.
Yeah, and that was last Thursday. So
long week.
They got a longer week. I don't know. I just think they're going to bounce back. Everybody's super high on them. Obviously, through like the first 7 games, they looked great. I think they're still that same great team. Just kind of laid a dud against the Packers. Yeah. But yeah, their offense, they just have too many weapons. Especially if Kyler plays. I'm waiting on this one a little bit to see if Kyler and Hopkins do play.
Kyler's got to play this game.
I don't see him sitting out a divisional matchup, especially not like a too serious injury.
My guess is both guys are going to play. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a lot less effective than we're used to saying. It's going to be more AJ Green, Rondale Moore, love him, Christian Kirk even too. And then Murray's going to play. He's not going to be as mobile as you see him doing. He's probably a lot of plays where he maybe would be able to pull some magic tricks and get out of the pocket. He might just slide and get down in the pocket without taking a big hit. You might see him a little less mobile, but when he's on the field, he's going to make plays happen no matter what. Even a hobbled Kyler Murray's, besides Lamar Jackson, just the most mobile quarterback in the NFL by far. So if they're playing, which I really think they're going to, like you said, long week, divisional rivals, tight division, they're going to play. I think they're going to win this game, so I don't think they drop 2 straight either.
Right.
Last game we want to talk about, the Vikings and the Ravens. We like the Vikings on the road here. I talked about this in the video I posted on Monday, just overviewing the games. I think there's a lot of recency bias here with, the Ravens coming off a bye and coming off a win, and then the Vikings, who couldn't even beat the Cowboys with their backup quarterback playing. What was his name again? Do you remember?
Oh,
Rush.
Cooper
Rush. Yeah. It doesn't even matter who it is. They couldn't beat the backup quarterback for the Cowboys. So people are kind of dogging the Vikings, but people forget how capable this offense can be. They're all at full strength. It's just, are they going to show up or not? I think this is one of the games they do show up. There's so much talent with running backs, with Dalvin Cook, and a wide receiver with maybe the best tandem in the NFL with Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, paired up against this really banged up and injured Ravens secondary. I think you can expect Kirk Cousins, if he's got a clean pocket, just to be slinging the ball downfield all game long. I just think this is one of those games that my gut tells me they're going to compete with. This is probably our least favorite pick out of all of them, but I just think, like I said, gut says that the Vikings show up this game, especially on offense, and they would compete with the Ravens and prove they're still relevant in the NFC playoff picture.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. Right now, the Vikings are sitting at the 8th spot in the conference, so they're still right there in the wild card race, just behind the Panthers. I think this is a game that they could grab on the road potentially. There's a lot of injuries on both sides, though. Michael Pierce is out, so he won't get his return game at Baltimore. You also got Barr and Dantzler both questionable, which could be some very big injuries.
Barr's going to be huge. He's one of the key pieces that defense had, outside linebacker, but just so versatile in the pass protection, blitz, and run stop too. He just does it all. So that's a big one to keep an eye out for.
Only reason I think it evens out a little bit is the Ravens starting right tackle has been out, Patrick McCarry, and Latavius Murray and Brandon Williams both didn't practice. Those are 2 more starters, running back, D tackle. I just think both teams are a bit banged up. So while both guys have players out, I think it kind of just evens the field a little bit. I think the biggest key here is obviously if the Vikings could just play pretty well on defense, I think they'll definitely cover this spread can't say definitely, but if they play good defense,
Yeah,
they got a good chance.
I think they're going to show up, and even if they don't, something tells me their offense is due to go off this game. You see the Ravens, their secondary hasn't been what it was when they were at full strength with Marcus Peters. So, like I said, they get just a little bit of time. Ravens love the blitz, but they're going to get a lot of man-to-man coverage, and that's exactly where Thielen and Jefferson thrive because they have such good footwork and they're so quick. You can't guard these guys man-to-man. So they're going to beat man coverage all day. If Kirk Cousins just gets a little bit of time in the pocket to find them with accurate throws, I think they're going to put up a lot of points. I talked about in the video Monday. I like the over this game a lot because I don't know how much I can rely on the Vikings defense to stop the Ravens. But regardless, still like +6 too. That's what the numbers say. That's what the sharps are saying too. And that's what we're saying. So we're sticking with that. And so we'll take a look at our final card. That lock being that teaser we like with the Bears and Texans. A couple of different reasonings. Bears on the road against Pittsburgh, just a low-scoring game where I don't think the Steelers are really capable of blowing out many teams in the NFL, quite frankly, with their offensive personnel. And then the Texans, in my mind, this is almost a coin flip game with them and the Dolphins.
I think it's 50-50 who wins.
Exactly. So if you can give me the Texans +10, I mean, there's definitely a scenario where the Dolphins blow them out because the Texans are a bad team. But there's a scenario where the Texans blow up the Dolphins because they're a bad team too. So give me the underdog. Let me tease them a little bit to make it, a little bit more a safe play. And I really like that teaser that we got going this week. That's our lock. Throwing 2 units on it at even money. I really like that one.
Yeah. And then just to recap our spread bets, we got the Patriots -3.5. That's another 1 unit play. We just really like Mac Jones to outplay Sam Darnold.
It's always about if you're going to give me a really bad quarterback against Bill Belichick and a good defense, I'm going to take the Patriots at a relatively low spread every time because I'm expecting the Patriots to win the turnover battle that game and not make mistakes. And I can never say the same thing about Sam Darnold or any other quarterback that's like inferior.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Vikings, like we mentioned, lowest confidence play. We do think they'll cover the +6. This is another team pretty interested in teasing.
We consider that
might drop a Twitter teaser later in the week. But as of right now, we're just taking them +6 straight up. And then the Cardinals money line. Obviously, you want to pay attention to those Hopkins and Kyler injuries, but we do expect them to play on the long week from playing on Thursday last week. They weren't major injuries in the game too, so I don't expect it to be anything like crazy serious where they're gonna have to sit out, especially in a divisional matchup against the Niners.
Yeah, and if you're along the same lines as we're thinking, where the divisional game, they don't want to get into two-game losing streak, trying to stop the momentum after a long week. This line is going to change once they announce they're playing. So if you really like our logic with the Cardinals money line here, jump on it now before it changes while they're still the underdog too.
All right. Yeah. So obviously all our picks here, road teams, which is
interesting.
Makes you a little bit scared, but they're all pretty much spreads besides that Cardinals pick. Feel really confident about them to just win the game. But yeah, we just want to get this card out this week. We definitely wanted to mention all the injuries and be more transparent with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we didn't get a card out last week on YouTube. We just got busy and all our picks ended up getting changed with last minute injuries. We had the Cowboys, wanted to post that, but when we found out Dak wasn't playing, we decided not to post. But as always, if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we appreciate all the support and all the interactions you've been getting. We're really excited that we got our 1,000 subscriber a couple days ago. We just thank you guys so much.
Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, keep commenting. We love it the most. I love talking to you guys in the comment section, letting you guys know what we think about any other games that we didn't mention and what bets you guys are taking. But as always, best of luck gambling and picking in week 9. I know we all got this. See you guys later.